Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about Mercury in the 6th house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, you first want to make sure you understand the sign that Mercury is positioned in. And this is especially true for Mercury because it is a highly adaptable planet. So Mercury will behave according to the sign that he is placed in. Along with this, you want to see is Mercury in conjunction with or being aspected by any planets. This will also change the functioning of Mercury. Along with this, it's important to understand that Mercury will have its strongest influence during a Mercury Mahadasha. So if you have not seen my video on the Mercury Mahadasha Bhuktis, I will leave a link for that above and down below in the description. So what does Mercury represent? Mercury is a planet of knowledge, of intelligence. It is all about our communication ability, our ability to comprehend, to learn, to develop skills and talents. Mercury rules over business, over financial dealings, over any kind of skills that we take up that we can use to our advantage. Mercury is a very practical planet. It is all about the rational mind, our logical thinking ability, our decision-making ability. It also rules over the memory. Mercury deals with all kinds of language skills and communication, including written communication. Mercury also has excellent organizational skills and dexterity. Mercury, along with this, rules over our connections, our ability to connect and relate with others. So what does the 6th house represent? The 6th house is a house of conflicts, of litigation, of any kind of competition or difficulties that we have to face in life. The 6th house is all about our daily routine, all about our responsibilities, our work life, our colleagues. It is a house where we have to deal with illnesses, where we have to deal with all sorts of court cases and conflicts and quarrels in life. The 6th house is also a house of service, of helping those in need, giving back to society. So the 6th house also is connected with the legal field and the medical field. The 6th house also is a house of pets and small animals. So what happens then when Mercury comes into the 6th house? Well, in some ways, this is a great position for Mercury because this is the original home of Virgo, and Virgo is where Mercury is exalted. So this is definitely going to bring out a lot of excellent qualities of Mercury. However, Mercury is a benefic planet, and the 6th house is a very challenging house, a Dhisthana house. And so definitely this is a challenging position for Mercury. Now, if you have malefics in the chart, then this can sometimes help Mercury because malefics function very well in this 6th house, but it can also damage and create some challenges around Mercury as well. So Mercury here in this 6th house can give you a lot of intelligence, a lot of practical skill, technical skill. You have a fine eye for detail. You're someone who's able to work out the everyday problems of life, and you love to find solutions to problems, so you can be very service-oriented, very helpful towards others. You love to put your practical skills to use to really help out those in need. Mercury here can give you all sorts of skill, creative talents, technical skill, as I've said. This is a very skillful position of Mercury. This can definitely get you involved with the financial field. Mercury here can be an excellent position for an accountant, for a financial advisor, for anyone who is dealing with the financial world. This also is an excellent position for anyone working in the legal field. So anything where you are dealing with other people's challenges, organizing other people's lives, making sure that other people don't run into obstacles in their practical life. This is an excellent position for this. This can also give you computer skills, computer programming, anything in the IT field can be seen from Mercury here in this 6th house. This definitely makes you a very organized person, very systematic in your approach. And sometimes this is a great position for a researcher, for an investigator, for anyone in the field of science. Mercury here definitely gives you a lot of critical thinking, but Mercury can be challenging sometimes because this can overwhelm you where you are constantly picking apart details and information. So you can become very self-critical with Mercury here in this 6th house, along with becoming critical of others. And this can create a lot of stress and conflict within the mind. Mercury here definitely is a position of overthinking, of worrying, of constantly wanting to have a plan for everything. So definitely your mind is not settled here with this position. position. This can make you a huge perfectionist where you're constantly wanting to fix problems and situations in life. Mercury sometimes can make you a hypochondriac with this position as well, because this is the sixth house of health and diseases. So you're very health conscious, very focused on diet, on health, and once again, this can be an excellent position for anyone working in the medical field. Mercury here can definitely give digestive issues, all sorts of issues related to anxiety and high stress levels. So you want to be very careful in this area. Mercury, because it is aspecting onto the 12th house of the chart, can take you into escapism, into isolation, into addiction. So you want to be careful about these habits. But the positive thing about this aspect is that you can find peace by going into meditation, into spiritual practices, into things that relax the mind. This is very much needed with Mercury here in this sixth house. If Mercury is afflicted, then the problems of this house can increase. So as I've said, when malefics come into this house, it helps you to deal with conflicts, but it also increases the conflicts that can play out. And this is especially true if you have the nodes placed here. Rahu and Ketu can really increase some of these difficulties and challenges around health, around enemies, around competitors. This can increase in your life. Sometimes, if Mercury is connected with the seventh house in any way, this also can create issues around relationships, because the sixth house is 12th from the seventh house, so this can indicate divorce or losses around relationships, legal issues, and concerns that are connected to your married life. So again, you want to be very careful with this position. This is definitely a position where you want to be careful about becoming too perfectionistic, about trying to fix other people or trying to fix situations, or constantly coming up with problems and difficulties, nitpicking, tearing things apart in this area. This can definitely bring about a lot of conflicts and difficulties. Mercury here also makes you someone who's very hardworking. You can be very focused, very disciplined, and very much able, again, to use your skills, your intelligence, all to your advantage to work out problems and difficulties. So this is a very work-oriented position. This definitely can bring you a lot of success and finances. Again, you want to see how Mercury is positioned here, but this is an excellent position for your job and career situation. The biggest thing here with Mercury in the sixth house is that you want to find ways to manage your stress levels so that you don't run into some health conflicts. But for the most part, Mercury here is going to make you someone who's well liked, because you are able to solve problems and to be very reliable in your work life.